Hey guys, happy sunrise. Today is Tuesday, April the 28th. So, hopefully, you guys have been feeling, a little bit more relieved, a little bit more relaxed. The word today was definitely like relax and really let things happen. You have done the work. That's what I heard today was this morning was you've done the work to actually put yourself in the position. Now all you have to do is walk through it. So all you have to do is just walk through that door, be yourself, and expect nothing but greatness because that is what's coming. So expand on that, we have really been in a great time right now where those that know the energy shifts of the two worlds are it's messing with a lot of people. Like even those that aren't spiritual, it's messing with them to either have that last chance of getting them onboarded or being left. And so as we're going through these exercises or this realization, the great awakening, we're also exercising a lot of our own abilities, our own powers, our own ways of manifesting, not manifestating, manifesting, sorry, the things that we want to be in the reality that we're going to. So when we heal, when we do the work, when we sit with ourselves and really realize what our triggers are, what we like, what we don't like, what we will accept and what we won't, where we placing our boundaries, when we really allow ourselves to be free in those spaces and we work on ourselves, ultimately that's really what it's about, looking within, finding out who you are. A lot of people are doing that, and it's a bit nervous. I will let you know I had a conversation with a coworker, and she started talking about these abilities, or she talked about a vision. Really, it was a vision, it wasn't a dream. And she kept saying, like, I remember there's a video. And I was like, no, sweetheart, there's not a video. You had a dream. I mean, you had a vision. You probably felt like you were there, when that happened, even though you're telling me that you weren't there. You probably placed your energy there to experience that memory as you saw fit. That is your abilities. That is the unlimitless opportunity that we have when we actually tap into who we are and know who we are. People talk about like, oh my God, it's weird to be telepathic or telekinesis, like, moving things with your mind, moving things with your own energy. It is just energy to energy, y'all. It's nothing weird about that. But we've been brainwashed to think that. And I think that that's where the message came from today, as far as just saying be still. You have nothing to prove. You've done the work on yourself, and I'm talking about you. You've done the work for yourself, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So you've done the work. There, it's a time for rest. You don't have to be like over exuding energy. You don't have to be like the person to be seen, because your time is coming. It may not look like it, or you may feel like, oh, it's still moving slow. But that's what happens when you have like all of these puzzle pieces, like when you are about to do a puzzle, or at least I would hope so, it's logical to me. When you're about to do a puzzle, you lay everything out, you kind of fix it to where you can put the pieces in an order that, you feel comfortable with, and then you put it together. So behind the scenes of all the mess that you've created in your world is universe. And they're aligning everything, taking out the pieces that don't need to be there, putting the new pieces in, as you work on yourself and you become more enlightened. They're pushing some pieces out of the way, realigning it, making sure that everything's good. Before you know it, you walk into a whole finished puzzle. And that's what universe is trying to give you, is give you the gift, because you've done the work. As you're doing the work, they're removing and adding and subtracting and, multiplying, abundance coming in. Certain opportunities that weren't available to you 2 months ago are now available to you because you've done the work. I can't express how much you are needed. We can't be thinking that, oh my gosh, like I'm going to do something for 2 weeks and then I should see a result. That is not how it works. And that's why a lot of people don't make it to the finishing, because they want quick results. And that is not what we're doing here. We are changing lives. We are changing frequencies. We are changing realities. You can't change that fast, because your consistency can be all over the place and then there's no message. You have to be consistent. You have to take the time. Get outside of the matrix. Then, sometimes you have to come back in to save or talk to another person. But at the end of the day, okay, you do the work and you're going to be rewarded. And right now, again, the message is to be still. Just walk through the door. For some of y'all, walk through the door. You're not at a place where you should feel threatened. You should actually feel enlightened, because the amount of power and amount of knowledge that you're holding on to right now is life changing for not only you, but the people around you. So, the message today is to relax. Relax. Start to allow these things to catch up with you. Not saying that you ease off the gas, but cruise. Cruise today. Cruise. Don't be overly exerting energy that you don't have to, and your intuition and gut will tell you that. Be true to who you are and coast, because you're going to coast right through that door and see that the puzzle is already finished and waiting on you to just be in admiration of it, to be grateful for it, to be honored that you were chosen. It's really funny how people kind of take things and twist it for their own liking, but you hold the truth. So you're able to say, even though you think that, I just want to enlighten you and let you know that there's so many more opportunities and so much world. Honestly, there's so much world out there. There's so much space and time out there. So, just be very, very aware. Be very aware of, if you feel like you gotta get all riled up, you're not in alignment today. You're not. But if you're just coasting and letting things happen and listening to your intuition to know if you want to go left, right, straight, backwards, up, down, when you have just kind of rested in that peace, you'll know. And when you know, that's when you move. So, again, remember, I love you. You are needed. You're really, really needed. And we'll see you next time. Have a great, great day. Bye.